Many of you probably own Call of Duty Black Ops by now, but I wanted to spend a lot of time playing the game before I actually passed judgment, and this is what I thought. So as you probably know, this is the 7th game in the series, and it was developed by Treyarch, the makers of Call of Duty 5. It's changed some things and had a slight graphical shape up, but this is still COD as we know it, and it has quite a bit of a resemblance to COD 5. It's got an interesting story, and it's had a little bit of a reboot, so let's get straight into it.
Wake up. Wake up.
So Call of Duty Black Ops actually does something quite different to most FPSs. Its campaign is set in the Cold War. I've only actually played one other game that was set in the Cold War, and I'm quite impressed actually by the story. It's got an interesting narrative. Interesting idea for story. You play as this guy named Mason, and you know, sort of not really secret agent, special ops agent, and it's a very interesting, immersive story. You get to visit loads of places, lush jungles, snowy terrain, jungle terrain, as I said, and close quarters combat, and it's very good. It references some some fictional things that actually happened, like Cuban Missile Crisis and the Bear Pigs, but most of it is non-fiction, and the weaponry they use is 20 years or so, 20 years before it actually, you know, is introduced, like, for example, the AUG, which didn't come out until the 80s, but even though this game is set in the 60s, they have it. So, yeah, you know, it's not, you know, historically accurate, but it's an interesting take, and I really enjoyed it. And if you're looking for a good campaign, it will last you for around 5 hours. And I definitely recommend you do play through the campaign. On the higher difficulty levels, it gets a bit ridiculous. Enemies are amazingly accurate, and it just gets a bit silly. I've completed it on Veteran, but I really didn't enjoy it like I enjoyed some of the previous CODs on Veteran. But yeah, have a go at it if you do get the game.
Enemy care package incoming.
So as you probably know, they've introduced a new currency system into the new Call of Duty, and that is COD points. And you unlock COD points by gaining XP, winning games, winning wager matches, and it's an interesting choice, and I respect them for trying something new, but personally I think it doesn't really work. The game's still unbalanced, and you still need to unlock a certain level to buy certain weapons and certain things. So it's a bit flawed. So as you probably know, there's been some quite big changes to the multiplayer itself, actually online in-game, and one of the most important ones is the removal of quickscoping, as you can see here. You can no longer quickscope properly. You can quickscope, but not like you can in any of the previous Call of Duty games. It's a bit silly. There's been an update, but you still can't really snipe. They've also removed drop shotting. Instead, when you go to drop shot, you dolphin dive. Very strange decision, and it shouldn't be in the game. There are some things I like about the new multiplayer. For example, wage matches, where you play through different modes, only to win COD points. You can lose quite a lot, or you can win quite a lot. They're very enjoyable, very competitive, and I really enjoy them. They're very interesting, and they have a completely new twist, so I commend them for that. Another good thing is zombies have been reintroduced into the Call of Duty franchise. Personally, I think they should be in COD 6 as well. Some people like say, oh yeah, it was developed by Infinity Ward, but COD 5 was just a copy of, you know, of COD 4, so I don't see how they couldn't have zombies. But yeah, it's interesting. It's nice to have it back. Unfortunately, it gets worse. If you enjoy zombies, stick with COD 5 zombies, because the maps are too complicated, they're too big, and it's just not as good as COD 5 Zombies, to be totally honest with you, and it's a real shame. So what's my verdict on the game? Well, to be totally honest with you, Call of Duty is getting a bit old now. This is the 7th installment, and it's just getting a bit overdone, a bit overworked. It's introduced some new things. It can still be addictive, but Call of Duty days should end soon. And the problem with Call of Duty is it attracts scum. Ever since Call of Duty well, Call of Duty 6 to be totally honest. The Xbox Live, PSN, it's just been full of scum. All these little angry teenagers, you know, just shouting at each other. To be honest, it's just annoying. So, you know what? I'd recommend you pick up this game, but I don't think it's the best game ever. But thanks for watching my review, guys, and please tell me what you think of my first review. I don't personally, I think this has been quite bad, but I don't know. I'm going to try and improve my reviews. Thank you. Goodbye.